We take.
Your chairmanship, and this debate couldn't be more important today because, like all honourable members, in every surgery I've held since being elected, I've met the parents of children with SEN, and without exception these parents have been dedicated to their children's future, many of them forced to sacrifice their jobs and their careers to navigate the labyrinthine systems that they often feel have been deliberately designed in a way to prevent them accessing the support that their child is due. Whether it's the parents I saw last week whose 8-year-old son has a variety of complex needs but who has not been to school for 3 years, or the 12-year-old with ASD, processing disorder and anxiety who's been out of school for 16 months, or the child who has selective mutism as part of his ASD, whose school is in his mother's words supportive but frequently uses informal exclusions when short-staffed as they cannot provide one-to-one support. None of these cases will be unfamiliar to us, and it is in their familiarity that they are all the more heartbreaking. We are normalising the mistreatment of children with special educational needs, and without a shadow of a doubt, funding is the primary issue. Sheffield City Council has a deficit of £6 million for the high needs block, out of a total £8 million deficit for school funding this year, and that underfunding manifests itself in a number of ways. Firstly, mainstream schools have less additional and specialist support in place, so are unable to cater for children with SEN. I've had reports of parents going to schools in my constituency and being explicitly told this is not the school for your child if he has autism. In turn, there are nowhere near enough specialist places to meet demand, and because there aren't enough spaces, more and more parents are choosing to educate their children at home, not truly out of choice, but out of desperation. And of course, the cuts to local authorities have left teams so short-staffed that the availability, the quality and the consistency of EHCPs is really poor. But there are other issues beyond funding, Sir Gary. In a very recent Ofsted inspection of Sheffield, they found that high levels of fixed-term and permanent exclusions result in children and young people with SEN not achieving as well as they should. And good outcomes for those children are compromised by the widespread use of partial timetables for lengthy periods. At the time of inspection, 70 pupils with an EHCP and 118 with SEN support were on partial timetables. So when can we expect the Timpson review, and does the Minister recognise the vital role of Ofsted in making our schools much more inclusive? And finally, navigation for parents needs to be so much simpler. Parents need clearer pathways and understandings of their rights. They absolutely do not receive clear or timely information about the support that is available for their children and how to access it. One parent said to me, "It is so very wrong that a child who needs more educational support than others gets none at all. The lack of provision is a total disgrace and has created a subgroup of children with special needs and no schooling." Sadly, that is the picture for many parents and children that we are facing now, and who could disagree with her?